So that was another inspiring session with the lifelong learners and professional developers. So yes, I've noticed that every year when we have a speaker, PMCA speaker from Laopedia, we always bring out applause, laughters, and I think it's something close to our heart. So that was lovely. What we learn is that, it doesn't matter where we are, we all face very similar challenges. Generation gap, lack of resources, difficulties, I think, and then we see how we tackle these similar challenges in different circumstances in different countries. So let us now move forward to the final session of this afternoon. In the final session, the theme is Champions of Special and Inclusive Education. In this final session, we will be joined by the PMCA recipients from Indonesia, Mongolia, and Singapore.
So we'll have a good time with the 3 sessions, enjoying, and I'm sure the audience not too tired yet to hear the most interesting, not the most interesting, but equally interesting, like other 3 parts or 3 groups. So your group are special. Special because they take care of special education. They make sure every student, despite their disabilities, they have opportunity to learn. So I want to hear from 3 of you how you make sure that they have the opportunity. Let's start with Ade, Indonesia. But before you tell us, you know the questions, but we will show you a video. Let the audience see what you do in your classroom and who are your students.
Assalamualaikum. Hello everyone. I am Ade Putri Sarwenda, Special Education Teacher in SLB Negeri Balikpapan, East Kalimantan Province, Indonesia. Special education is my passion and also my world. Very happy to be a part of being able to accompany students' learning journey and lead them to be independent in life. I love giving new information to my students, providing various learning experiences like project-based learning and also using technology to support learning in class. I utilize various technology platforms and also develop my own interactive learning multimedia. The interactive learning multimedia is in the form of a learning application. I also using another kind of the education platform that matches with the needs of students, and it's all purpose to strengthen my students' understanding and give learning experience. I love to collaborate with other teachers in learning community, sharing information and sharing best practice about special education and inclusive education. No word can describe my love and my dedication for all my great students. These great students are my life inspirations. For me, the deepest level of love doesn't need a definite reason. Thank you, Princess Mahachakri Award Foundation. Thank you for the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education of Indonesia. Love greetings from us. Assalamualaikum.
Your children are so cute. They're so lovely. And now I can see why you enjoy what you do. But that's just a small piece of information. But I want to know more of what is the inner inspiration of you to help all these children with disabilities to learn.
Thank you for the opportunity. I believe that every children have a right to get the quality of education, included students with special needs. And it is my duty to give them all a quality of education. But when everybody asks me, why you want to teach all of the students, I cannot explain what is the reason why I want to teach them. But for me, the deepest of love doesn't need a definite reason. I love them all. I love all my children. So as a teacher, I just do my best as a teacher. I give the best from them to teach them with all of the needs in the class. Yes, I give the personalized learning from all of the children in the class.
So sometimes when you do what you do, doesn't need a reason.
Yeah.
Because you love in what you do.
Yeah.
So I like that idea. Sometimes there's no reason in doing
Yeah.
things. You just love to do it,
Yes.
right? So
Right.
like I love doing it. So
Yeah.
great. So Uyanga, I hear from Ade. She loves in what you do, and sometimes there's no reason. Can you tell us why you're doing what you do? Because your students are also have uniqueness. But let's see the video so that the audience see what you do, and then you can tell us why are you helping them.
За намайг Уянга гэдэг би энэрл мэрэгжил боловсролын сургууль 9 дэх жилдээ ажиллаж байна. За манай сургуулийн онцлог нь оюун болон сэтгцийн бэрхшээлтэй хүн хэлбэрийн хүүхдүүдтэй ажилладаг. За эдгээр залуусыг нийгэмд бид нэр мэдээлэл зөвлөгөө өгөө тухайн хүүхдийнхээ суур ур чадварыг чадамж нь юу вэ гэдгийг үнэлээд түн дээр суурилсан ур чадварыг нэмэгдүүлж нээлттэй хөдөлмөрийн зах зээл дээр бэлтгэж гаргадгаараа даваа талтай хөгжлийн бэрхшээлтэй залуусыг бид энэхүү нээлттэй хөдөлмөрийн зах зээл бэлтгэснээр нийгэмд эерэг ойлголтыг өгөх за мөн бид нартай адилхан мөр зэрэгцэн галахах эгэлж ирийн тэгш хүртээмжтэй байдлыг нь олгож чадсанараа бид нар маш олон даваа талуудыг бий болгож байгаамаа хөгжлийн бэрхшээлтэй эдгээр залуусын хамгийн гол онцлог нь бүгд өөрийн гэсэн хүсэл мөрөөдөлтэй байдаг. Энэ хүсэл мөрөөдлийг бид нээж нээлттэй хөдөлмөрийн зах зээл дээр гаргаж байгаа нь өөрөө хамгийн том гол онцлог юм болов уу гэж бодож байна. За манай сургуулийн хувьд 9 дэх жилдээ үйл ажиллагаа явуулахдаа оюун сэтгцийн бэрхшээлтэй залуусаараа дагнан ажиллаж эдгээр залуусыг бол нээлттэй хөдөлмөрийн зах зээл дээр нэлээд үедээ гаргаж чадсан байна. За миний бас өөрийн хувь хүний гол зорилго маань эдгээр залуус урам өгөх за мөн бие хүн гэдгээрээ бахархаж нийгэмд өөрийнхөө чаддаг зүйлээрээ оролцоотой байхыг илүүд үздэг. За мэдээж хөгжлийн бэрхшээлтэй эдгээр залуусын маань гэр бүл ар гэр нь болоод бас тухайлан бүрэн дүүрэн ойлгож чаддаггүй. Тэдгээр ар гэрт нь чиглэсэн сургалтуудыг гэж тэдгээрт зөвлөгөө өгснөөрөө бид нар хамтын ажиллагаатай нэг зорилгын төлөө явж чаддаг. Ингэж чадсанаар өнөөдрийн нээлттэй зах зээл дээр олон залуусыг хөдөлмөр бэлтгэж гаргаж чадчих байгаамаа. За энэхүү давуу талууд нь өнөөдрийн миний шагнал авах болцлыг хангасан болов уу гэж бодож байна. Тэгээ энэхүү шагналыг хүртэх болсондоо бас чин сэтгэлээсээ баяртай байгаа.
Uyanga, I'm still very impressive when I went to see you in Ulaanbaatar. You've done a very excellent job. Can you tell us why are you helping these students and do all the activities that you do.
За би бол багш хүн, бид бүгдээрээ багш. За багш хүн хичээл заах үүрэгтэй. За хамгийн гол нь тухайн хөгжлийн бэрхшээлтэй хүндээ заах байгаа хичээлийг хэрхэн яаж хүргэх вэ гэдэг бол хамгийн чухал. Тэгэхээр бид нэр энэ хүний бэрхшээлийнх нь онцлог, суурь ур чадвар, хүсэл мөрөөдөл нь юу вэ гэдгийг эхэлж бид нэр үнэлж, таньж, мэдээд үүн дээр суурилсан ур чадварыг олгох сургалтын арга зүгээр хүрэх юм бол тухайн суралцагчид ямар ч төрлийн хөгжлийн бэрхшээлтэй байсан өөрөөрөө хөдөлмөрлөх боломжтой энэ нийгэмд ялгуурлан гадуурхдахгүйгээр ажиллаж хөдөлмөрлөх боломжийг олгохыг бол хувь хүнийхээ хувьд бол зорьдог. За Монгол улсын хувьд бол насан туршийн боловсролыг Монгол улс урт хугацааныхаа бодлоготой тусган ажиллаж байна. Манай энэрл сургууль маань хөгжлийн бэрхшээлтэй иргэдийн бие даах чадварыг нэмэгдүүлж амжиргааны түвшинг дээшлүүлэх зорилготойгоор ажилладаг. За миний үнэт зүйл зорилгоос энэхүү улс орон болон сургуулийн маань зорилготой нэгтэн эдгээр хүүхдүүдийн онцлогийг ойлгож таньж мэдээд түүн дээр суурилсан мэдлэгийг нэмэгдүүлж ажлын байран дээр өөрөөрөө хөдөлмөрлөж энэ амьдралдаа бахархалтайгаар байхыг зорж ажилладаг.
So you help them, you give them opportunity. Your students are intellectual disabilities and are teenagers, while other students are primary school students, kindergarten, and they having difficulty hearings and also multiple disabilities. Inspiration of help, inspiration of how we can give them opportunity. This is the context of Mongolia and Indonesia. For the context of Singapore, we know that perhaps it's not the similar way, but Singapore have your own uniqueness of inclusion, exclusion, and especially advanced country. In your context, we will want to know what you do to help these excluded to be included. By watch the video first, and Singi can tell us why you're doing it.
Every student can create their own success story, no matter the starting point. I believe in the power of connection is at the heart of everything we do. When young people face challenges, they should never face them alone. That's why I created programs like STAR with my team, where students discover their strengths, grow their spheres of influence, so as to thrive in life. Every child is my child, and every little progress made is a big win for me.
Not everyone walks a straight path during their formative years. That's where Xingyi shines brightest. She's more than an educator. She's a champion who believes deeply in human potential. By working with colleagues, parents, community, and sharing her expertise, she's creating a network of lighthouses for students who need them most.
In education, one size never fits all, and Xingyi understands this very well. She has a remarkable ability to adapt her teaching styles to each student's needs, particularly championing those with special educational needs. Her dedication led to our school's first ever Purple Parade, a celebration of inclusivity. She also fosters strong school-home partnership through the Parents Support Group. Through her actions, Xingyi shows us what it means to nurture students with deeper care and grace.
Madam Ang showed me that learning can be exciting. She used fun activities and real-life examples that made lessons easier to understand. She also encouraged me to try different ways of learning and celebrate every small progress. Because of her, I now enjoy coming to class and believe I can keep on improving.
When I felt like giving up, Madam Ang reminded me that I still have something worth fighting for. What makes her special is how she could sense when I was struggling. Her constant encouragement showed me that giving up was not the answer.
When I was lost and could not find my direction, Madam Ang saw past my struggles and helped me discover my interests and strengths.
Every child matters. I work with different stakeholders to ensure that each child is able to reach his or her fullest potential. I hope to continue inspiring fellow educators to bring out the best in every child.
Xingyi, I look forward to hearing about your future achievements, and I'm sure you will transform many more lives.
Xingyi, you continue to inspire everyone around you. Thank you for all that you have done.
Madam Ang, you have taught us to always strive to be our best self.
Thank you for believing in us and inspiring every single student that crosses paths with you.
They all thank you for what you do. Now tell us why you do what you do, so they thank you like that.
I think more than 20 years ago, I started my career in Singapore as a teacher, believing that care for students open doors to them and for them. As I move on, taking on different roles, from a teacher to a year head, and now I'm in the MOE, Ministry of Education headquarters, I gain different insights into students' needs. And through my reflection along the way is that as a significant adult in a child's life, we can buffer them against risk. And subsequently, in my role as a head of department, I learned that beyond creating program, sometimes or very often, it is the meaningful connection that we make with them that creates the impact in their lives. And more recently, I'm more convinced that doing upstream intervention can create system-wide impact. And that's how and why I move on to the headquarters. Moving on, and because of these reflections, it has shaped my core values. And I have 3 core values. Maybe we can have the next slide, please. Okay, so my first belief in core value is that every child has unique strength and potential, just waiting for us to uncover, discover, and help them bloom and grow. And this includes students with additional needs. And the students with additional needs can come in different forms. It can be students with special educational needs in a Singapore context. It can be students that come from challenging background or who are at-risk students of different things. Secondly, I hold fast to the power of yet. And that is to look beyond the child for who they are today into their potential, helping the student to see this for themselves. You see a picture of my former student here. Just very recently, she texted me and thanked me for believing in her, because when she entered secondary school, she was uncertain about herself. She was very not confident. But because I saw the potential in her, I assured her, and she bloomed. And she's now an award-winning teacher, whom all of us are proud of. And thirdly, that every child deserves an opportunity to thrive and succeed regardless of their background. So behind each of their smiles is a story, a unique story waiting to be uncovered by us. And when we talk about inclusive education, it's not about providing the same thing for every child, but it's about knowing their needs, their unique needs, and doing what we can to support them and help them to grow and flourish.
So the uniqueness, what you said for your student, 3 of you have discovered and pulled it out from them. For you, multiple disabilities. For Uyanga, intellectual disability. And for you, the confidence, more like the mental well-being, the heart, the not so confidence, and the feeling that they are outside the society. It's the heart, the mental heart part. So, Ade, with all of that, now for you, how do you help your students, especially the kindergarten, with lots of challenge and their own way?
But before that, I should tell my story of teaching for 15 years. I've becoming a teacher. I teach all of variety of students with disability. My area of expertise is intellectual disability, but I should be ready when I give a variety of students with special needs in the class. So I believe that I agree with Madam Ang said that every children have a uniqueness and also their potential. So me as a teacher wants to dig more about the potential of the children, and when I teach them, I should personalize the needs of the students. And when I teach, I use a strategy of pedagogy to teach them. First is I use learning project to my students, and also I develop some application.
Just like the one
Yeah,
on the screen.
this
The
is my
mobile
first
app.
Yes, this is my first application in 2020. I developed this application for my student with hearing impairment to provide an experience for deaf students to recognize various kind of background sounds. Because I believe that every student, especially with hearing impairment, has residual hearing. So we try to dig more the potential of the students to recognize the sounds and the vibration that they will get from the area of their self. And then the second innovation that I bring is I developed the learning project named ABK Farm. This is simple agriculture, yes. This is I use for my deaf students, hearing impairment students. It is a learning project that integrates academic learning with vocational skills. So I integrate the academic learning, especially science, and then I collaborate it with how to bring them the vocational learning when they are in the first grade in school.
And then you
yeah.
help the young student with vocational skills.
Yeah.
Why do you help them with vocational?
I prepare them to be independent after graduate from school. So I habituate them with the situation. This is the small thing, it can be earn money. Yeah. So I hope that when I teach them like this, it can be useful after they graduated from school. Yeah. And then the next, yes, I develop again. It is when I teach students with the intellectual disability. Yeah, when I teach students with intellectual disability, I develop Sehati application. It is a reproductive health learning support application that is personalized to teenage with intellectual disability. And next, I also developed the personalized learning worksheet that is used to provide an understanding of words. It is completed with sign language. Yes, with sign language. And also this teaching material can also be used in inclusive classroom. So everyone can use it, especially students with hearing impairment. And then I develop hybrid learning. It is initiated since pandemic era. I developed this learning to facilitate my students who cannot enter the classroom. So I bring the technology, and then I use all of the platform of digital technology that the ministry have, and also I develop first. And then the last innovation that I make is my hometown is Borneo Island. Borneo Island in East Province, Kalimantan, Indonesia. In Borneo Island, there are a lot of flora and fauna. So I want my students to know more about the inherited biodiversity, flora and fauna of East Kalimantan. So I developed this application for them to make easy to understand what is the flora and what is the fauna of East Kalimantan. I make them all to make my student happy in learning in the class, and I also want to make the learning in not also just I give the knowledge, but also I want to provide them a deep learning.
Yes.
Deep learning, I want to make a mindful learning,
And
meaningful
fun.
learning, and also joyful learning.
Yes.
So I develop all of this innovation.
Your way of making students learn fun, like
Yes.
Golan, Vietnamese
Yeah.
teacher who teach kindergarten, she also help or make her student fun. For the audience who have not yet know where is Kalimantan, Indonesia, imagine the very far island of Indonesia,
Yes.
almost close to Australia.
Yeah.
Very far. So that's why they have
Very
lots
far.
of birds, lots of plants, beautiful flower. I was there once.
Yeah.
So Ade, that's how you help your student, because you use technology, you create something fun for them, because your students are little one. But now Uyanga, for you, your student is not a little child, but your students are 16 years old. How do you help them to learn the skills that they are ready for the social life outside the school?
За Монгол улсын хувьд 16-аас дээш насны одоо мэргэжлийн боловсрол сурж байгаа хүүхдүүд маань ерөнхийдөө яг бүрэн дүрэн ерөнхий боловсролын сургуульд бас сурч чадаагүй хүүхдүүд байдаг. За тэгэхээр бид нэр тухайн хүүхдийнхаа бэрхшээлийн онцлогийг таниад түүн дээр суурилсан арга зүйгээр одоо заахыг одоо голчилдог. Гэхдээ яг одоо суур ур чадварт нь тохируулан яг ямар ажил хийж чадах вэ гэдэг дээр ажлын байран дээр нь дадлагжуулаад ажил олгогч нартай хамтран одоо сургалтыг болов хийдэг. Оюуны бэрхшээлтэй залуус хүн харахад яг одоо энгийн одоо ямар төрлийн бэрхшээлтэй нь бол одоо таньж мэддэхгүй одоо сул тал байдаг. Тэгэхээр харилцаа болон нийгэмшлийн энэ одоо тулгамдж байгаа одоо бэрхшээлийг бид нэр даван туулахын тулд тухайн хүүхдийг одоо бэрхшээлийнх нь онцлогийг нь таних хэрэгтэй. Бэрхшээлийн онцлог гэдэг маань одоо давантай хүүхдүүд тэгэхээр бүгдээрээ нэг төрлийн адилхан байна гэж байхгүй. Тухайн хүүхэд болгон өөрийнх нь одоо чаддаг зүйл, дуртай, дургүй зүйлс нь бүгд өөр байдаг. Тэгэхээр тэр хүүхдэд бид нэр тохирсон сургалтын арга зүгээр одоо зааж сургаж түүнийг одоо хөдөлмөрт бэлтгэж ажлын байранд гаргаж чаддгаар онцлог.
So Uyanga, the technique that you use to help your students is first you let me echo is you screen them, you make sure what type of disabilities they have. The second one is after you know, then you find ways to help them communicate, and you know what their needs are, then you can help them directly according to their disabilities. Then they can gain the skills. So that is a very good technique for especially the teenagers above 16. Let me give them a little background of for your context is 16, sometimes these students do not go to school, right? That's why they come to your school, Uyanga. Your students sometimes, because they cannot go to the regular school, and sometimes the regular school don't want them. That's why you help them. Yes. Can you tell us more of how do you connect them with the skills that you get them to work? Like, for example, I see the factory, I see the restaurant.
За манай сургууль дээр сурах гад зорж ирсэн хүүхэд болгоныг бол сургаад төгсгөх бол чухал биш. Сурсан болвол заавал ажлын байртай болгохыг бол зорддог. Тэгэхээр бид нэр тухайн хүүхдүүдтэй хамтдаа хөгжүүлдэж, хамтдаа танин мэдгүй, аялах, үзүр үзэх, за мөн одоо нийгэмшлийн асуудал дээр нэлээд сайн төлхөө ажиллаж агаад одоо үнэлгээг бүрэн дүрэн хийн. За үнэлгээ хийн гэдэг бол цаг хугацаа маш их ордог. За багштай бидний одоо тогтвортой, тууштай, тасралтгүй байх байдлыг бол маш их чухалчлах хэрэгтэй гэж би бол өөрөө боддог. Тэгэхээр бид нэр тухайн хүүхдүүдийг одоо орчин солигдоход танин мэдхүйн чадвар нь бас одоо алдагддаг тул одоо аль болох нийгэмшүүлэхэд одоо хэрэгцээ шаардлагатай байгаа бүхий л одоо үйлчилгээ аялан зугаалах за танин мэдхүйн энэхүү одоо аргачлалуудыг одоо бид нэр бичлэн цуг одоо хамтдаа хийдгээр бас даваа талтай. За хөгжлийн бэрхшээлтэй гэлтэггүй эдгээр хүүхдүүдэд маань хүсэл байдаг, мөрөөдөл байдаг. Тэр нь чухам юу вэ гэдгийг бид нар ар гэрийнхэн тусламжтайгаар мөн танин мэдэж түнд нь одоо суурилсан одоо мөрөөдлийнх нь одоо ажлыг нь олж өгч чаддаг ажлаа хин нэгнээс одоо хамааралтай үл ялгуурлан гадуурхалгүйгээр нэгэн одоо энгийн хүн шиг одоо ажиллах тэр боломжийг нь олгохыг бол зордгоо.
So Uyanga reflect what you said earlier, Singyi, that opportunities, you give them hope and opportunity. For your context, the part that you give them hope and opportunity, bring them out from their shy zone, how do you do it?
Okay, I have 3 approaches to do so. The first one, if we have our slide. Okay, yeah, so these are my 3 approaches. Firstly, in focusing on holistic development with an emphasis on effective education. Secondly, focusing on building a caring and enabling school culture. And finally, capacity building to upskill educators. Allow me to elaborate a little and give us some examples of how I do it. The next slide, please. Okay. So you see on the top left-hand corner, actually there's a video. If the video clue can help me click on it, it shows us some examples of activities of this STAR program that we start in school to help students develop holistically, helping them to discover, to uncover their strength.
ช่วยคลิกวิดีโอที่ตรง
Are we able
ตรง star ด้วยค่ะคำว่า star มีวิดีโออยู่
Just click on the star, the top left-hand corner.
ตรงสีฟ้าค่ะ
If not, it's okay. Oops. If not, it's okay. It just shows you different activities.
Okay, maybe no.
It's all right. Maybe I'll move on. So basically, STAR program, it showcases, we have a level-wide program. So in each level, students go through different authentic experiences. And through that, hopefully it helps them discover their own interests, what they're good at, provide some exposure, what might be their strength. You know, they start discovering who they are. Yeah, so this is an activity that we have. On the top right-hand corner, this is what we call a little purple parade that we have in school. You see that the aim is to build an inclusive community by developing empathy in them. So the students go through a structured experience. So you see the picture on the left, the girl is wearing a earphone, right? So we're trying to simulate a person who has hearing impairment. And through that, we get them to reflect upon the experience. And hopefully through that, they can develop empathy. Yeah. The next slide. My next approach is in building a culture that is caring and enabling. To do that, we need strong teacher-student relationship. And there's an emphasis in the school. We set aside every Tuesday, which we call Tender Tuesday, for heart-to-heart talk that the teacher can have with the child. Through that, the teacher will talk about issues that the child may be struggling with, provide guidance, and help the child think through the issues and work through the problems themselves. And then on the top right-hand corner, you see a boy receiving an award. We create tailored interventions for students with additional needs, such as this boy who has special educational needs. He had this handphone addiction problem. So in class, he would either be sleeping or playing with his handphone. There were occasions when the teacher tried to confiscate the handphone and he retaliated, almost hitting the teacher.
Wow. I think a lot of teachers here also experience same problems of children addicted to mobile phone.
Yeah. So what we do, we help him discover, knowing that he likes technology, right? So we help him, give him exposure, help him develop his interest in digital area, and then channel this focus away from addiction, but to put it into more productive use. And then thereafter, with the customized intervention that we have for him, he got into this media creation content. And he did relatively well because we didn't give up on him. In fact, the parents were a little helpless, asking for help. What do we do? Teachers were also like, what do we do? So we all came together and then consider what's best. And we come up with a common set of strategies, and we implement it consistently in every lesson. And that's how we help him to take small steps to overcome some of his challenges, and therefore discovering his own unique strength. Yeah. The next slide, please. And then the third approach in capacity building. In the left-hand picture, you see me. Oh.
Now your video comes.
Video.
They just wake up.
Okay. So those are snapshots, photographs of the activities that we expose our students to. Okay, moving on to capacity building of teachers. We believe that it's important to help our teachers develop competencies to support students' well-being, because we see that it is an important area of focus. So I will conduct regular sharing together with my team. In this particular session, you see here in the screen, we taught teachers how to identify, or rather, how do we help teachers to manage students' anxiety, because we saw from some surveys, students seem to be a little anxious, and they have unrealistic expectations about themselves. Yeah, so instead of just letting it pass, we discussed, and we came up with a little training program for our teachers, brainstorming together, thinking of how can we help students in this aspect. And on the right-hand side, you see a photograph of my sharing with different teachers in MOE, the whole system-wide. In fact, my school piloted, I took lead in this project of strengthening teacher-student relationship. So we piloted in our school, and it received very good feedback because it was a tool that we used to help form teachers understand how the child perceives the relationship with the form teacher. Because usually we don't get that feedback, right? We try to show care, but sometimes we don't know that the child may not have experienced the care that we had intended. So it was a survey, it's a tool to help teachers know how the child is thinking about our relationship.
So the way you do it, it's not only to understand the student, but to help the teachers, other teachers in the school, understand the children as well. So that's some techniques that we can all bring in and make use of it in our classroom. Thanks, Xingyi. You all have your own teaching styles, your methods, your uniqueness, because your students are different. What is the challenge, the difficulties? Regular classroom already hard, but this is student with multiple disabilities. Are they?
Okay, thank you. First, I want to explain the condition of special school in some of Indonesia. In Indonesia, special school contains 4 grades. There are kindergarten, and then elementary school, and then junior high school, and then senior high school. There are 4 grades in one school. So the challenge for me is I should be ready when I give to teach in multiple disability or intellectual disability or deaf, and also the other disability. And also I should be ready when I place in kindergarten and also elementary school and also senior or junior high school. So for me, I should be ready wherever place.
Everything.
Yes. And the other challenge for me is in this learning era now, I believe that this is the era of technology. So my student who disability have same right with another student. So I bring them to get used to technology in learning. So I bring technology in my class, and I make them happy joining my class, and also I make them mindful, and also mindful in the activity in the class. And also I believe that as a teacher, when I teach students with disability, I'm not also giving knowledge, but also I should giving them experience. So I should give the complete of learning from them. So I give a functional learning that I use in project-based learning for them in order to prepare them to be independent after graduate. And also I want to make the students have another experience, not also giving knowledge, but also other experience. And the other challenge for me is, we believe that every students, especially student with special needs and also student with disability, have their own functional needs. Every children have a different functional needs. So when I develop my media and I develop my application, I develop my teaching approach, I should be personalized according to my student needs. So based on this, I develop my own learning technology based on my student needs. And before I develop this, I always do assessment to know what is the needs of my student, the strength, the weakness, and also the needs. So I built my own technology. It's really, really used for them and suitable for them as their needs.
Because you understand their multiple disabilities, you yourself have to be multitasking.
Yes.
And you develop the application using multimedia so that every student can learn from each type of media.
Yes.
So multiple everything.
Yes.
So that's how you solve the problems of your challenges.
Yes, based on assessment.
Yes. So Uyanga, not easy for you. What are your challenge with all these children, and how do you help them being independent?
За мэдээж асуудал гэвэл олон байгаа, бэрхшээл гэвэл олон байгаа. Гэхдээ өнөөдөр багш нарын илтгэлүүдийг харж байхад ерөнхийдөө бүх одоо асуудлууд бол аль улс оронд бол тулгамдсан асуудал байна гэдг нь харагдаж байна. За миний хувьд бол энэ одоо даяарчлагдж байгаа нийгэм техник технологийн хөгжилд нөгөө оюуны бэрхшээл, сэтгцийн бэрхшээлтэй хүндөвтөр төрлийн бэрхшээлтэй залуус маань дахин одоо хөгжлөөс улам их хоцрох үедээ гэсэн нэг болгоомжлол бол байдаг. За хоёрдугаар асуудал нь болохоор боловсролын бүх түвшинд бид нар суралцагчдыг аюулгүй, ялгуурлан гадуурхахгүй тийм ээ, хөгжлөөс ангид байлгахгүй, хөгжлийн цогц үйлчилгээ үзүүлнэ гэд бүх орон доктортой хөгжилтөд хүртэл оруулчихсан байгаа. Гэсэн хэдий ч бидний одоо соёлын үнэт зүйл, соёлын ялгаа, үнэт зүйлийн ялгаанаас үүдсэн олон талт бэрхшээлүүд бол өнөөдрийг хүртэл асуудал бол тулгарч байгааг бүх багш нар маань ярьж байна. За эндээс би багш нараасаа бас маш олон зүйлсүүдийг бол мэдэж авлаа. Дээр нь бид нар яг энэ яриад байгаа асуудал гэж яриад байвал бол шийдэгдэхгүй. Тэгэхээр би яг энэ цаг үед энэ дээр сууж байхдаа юу бодож байна вэ гэхээр бид нар хамтдаа дэлхийд нэг л гэртээ яг л бид нар хамтдаа нэг л одоо зорилгын төлөө явж байгаа учраас энэ туршлагыг бид нар улам их одоо солилцож ямар дэвшилтэд санааг дэвшүүлэн бодит ажил болгож ажиллах вэ гэдэг дээр төвлөрөх юм бол энэ маань шийдэл болох юм болов уу гэж харлаа. Ингээд өнөөдрийн хувьд бол миний хувьд хэдийгээр манай сургууль, хувийн сургууль, санхүүгийн хувьд хүндрэлтэй, өөрийн байр байхгүй, түрээсийн байранд байдаг ч гэсэн би бол энийг асуудал гэж харахгүйгээр улам их боломжийг одоо ямар арга санаачлага байна гэдэг дээр илүү их төвлөрч ажиллах юм байна гэдэгтээ та бүгдээс их итгэл урамыг авлаа. За энэ одоо бүтээгч байгаа одоо сайн сайхан нийгмийг бүтээхэд багш та бидний оролцоо өнөөдөр илүү их байх юм байна. Хамтдаа хичээе л гэж хэлмээр байна.
Thank you very much. That's very inspiring, Uyanga, of how can we work together to solve the problems. Everybody have challenge. Some are the same, some are different. But as long as we try to reach the same goal to solve the problem for our students, we can make everything happen if we work together, right? So that's a very good lesson that I also learned from all of the teachers. Singi? Singapore, in many people, perception is perfect country. Well off, Singapore is the leading country in ASEAN. You also have challenges, especially with your students. Let us know what are the challenges and how you overcome it so we can learn from Singapore.
We all learn from one another. I think the challenges that I face has to do with and stems from the challenges that my students face. Because I observed recently that students' issues are becoming more and more complex. You know, they face with family issues, they face with high expectations from themselves and from parents. They often struggle with comparison with their peers. Yeah, so these are issues that they struggle with. And students who are different, whether by nature or by circumstances, they face barriers that limit their growth. Very often, they are the ones who feel left out, don't belong, because they're just different, right?
Yeah. And it's one observation. The problem or the challenge that Singapore face, happen for countries that are advanced. It's not the challenge like other countries you find, but stress that the children have. And you're helping them in what way?
Okay, and the very reason why this is a challenge for me, because it's evolving, it's getting more and more complex, and I start to question, why is it so? And I mean, for myself, I decided to go to MOE headquarters to have specialists there, you know, to dig a little deeper for a little bit more time for research, thinking, learning, and then applying what I observe on the ground, hopefully to find some answers. But of course, we try to really research, read up, and learn from different systems in the world. We pay attention to the mental health of students through, we have a termly check-in with students, focusing for teachers to focus on students, not just on their results, but their overall and holistic well-being. Yeah, so that's one area that we are working on.
So well-being of the students is most important to help them grow. And from what we learned from these sessions, the common idea is, despite the challenge of each countries, despite the difference of age, despite the difference in disabilities, three of you have one common thing is you want to help your student to be independent and be able to function in the society by themselves. So that is very important. You make them go out there and be themselves, give them opportunity. So thank you very much, and give a big round of applause for this session. And I hope that you all have learned from the 4 sessions that we provide to you. I know it's been a long afternoon, but I very much appreciate you all sit and listen and try to learn from each other, like Uyanga said. So the takeaway for you, or for me, and I hope you all have a takeaway going back home as a souvenir to bring back to your house and to your friend. For me, my takeaway or my souvenir is, for the first sessions, my takeaway is, if you find challenge in your school, parents and community can be your partners in helping with the students. And they're the most resourceful that they can help you. Community engagement. So that's the key takeaway for group number 1. The group 2, my takeaway is, if you want to create something new, take out the box, no box at all. Right, Rosnism? Don't put yourself in a space, just allow yourself to think, and then let the student think. No box. That's the good message that I have. The third session, I think my takeaway is the 3 teachers, Lao, Myanmar, and also Bhutan, they all want to create human capital, human resource, and they all wanted to do for the value of their nation. So it's something that they're proud of. They want to create a lifelong learning with values for their people in the countries. So that is the takeaway. And I'm sure Thailand has the common values as well. And the last group, my key message takeaway is, they never give up on their students. They bring out, they find ways to work with them. Never give up, they never leave no one behind. And I do hope that you will never leave any children behind. Don't give up on them. Thank you very much. Big round of applause for this.
Thank you very much to all the speakers for sharing your inspiring stories. I think there's a lot of takeaways from today's sessions, today's 4 sessions. So we have come to the end. I think we have listened to a lot of stories, a lot of things that we can take home, implement them in your career, in your school. And I think up to now, it has been very clear. Princess Marjorie Award was first established 10 years ago, and from the beginning, the only criteria for selection of teachers is that these are teachers who change students' lives and who make impact to education. So I think from today's examples, we have seen tangible examples of these statements. So I think we have come to a close of this session. So thank you very much for joining us this afternoon, and we will look forward to seeing more of these inspiring stories next year at the PMCA Forum. Thank you for joining us. ขอบคุณครับ